when I went, I started getting sick, but it was like blood clots. And I go, oh God, so I said, get yourself together, get out there. And I told him what's going on. And he got me to the hospital. And he said it wasn't even 30 seconds after they had wheeled me away that I had died. And they were pumping on me, and he said nothing was bringing you back.
Welcome to Becoming Epic, the podcast for the ones who were counted out, the ones who've been knocked down more times than they can count, but still get back up one more time. This isn't for the perfect. This is for the underdogs, the misfits with big hearts, the ones chasing purpose, not permission. Here, we don't just talk about success. We talk about grit, discipline, heart. We talk about the courage it takes to rebuild yourself when no one is clapping. Because becoming epic, it's not a destination. It's a decision made daily. So if you're tired of the average, the excuses, the same old story, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Adam Berezowsky, and this is Becoming Epic. Let's wake the warrior in you, and let's fucking go. Welcome back to the Becoming Epic podcast. My name is Adam Berezowsky, and I am pumped for this week's episode. So I have an amazing special guest today. About a month and a half ago, we put out a scholarship that we were so blessed to do because in my mission, I want to help as many people as I can. And so we put out a thing for a free 1-year scholarship to somebody who's got an amazing story, an amazing journey. And we have our winner on here today, and it's Diane. What was your last name again?
Wilson.
Diane Willson, which is very cool because most of my people that I have, guests that I have on, are clients. I know a lot about them, and her story just stuck out like a sore thumb. In about 50, we had about 56, 57 people that submitted, and so I want to get to know you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. And
well, I was born and raised here in Simi. I have 5 siblings. I was married. I have two sons, older, 27 and 25. Let's see. I have like a couple of jobs that I do. So I work in retail, and then I also work at schools with children that are on the spectrum.
Oh, awesome. Local? All local schools? Okay, very cool. Which schools?
I go from school to school, so it can be anywhere from like Justin to, it's a very Simi High to, I've worked in those. So.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. Yeah, Simi local. Yes. I love it. It's so funny because I moved here, and it's like I've always wanted to be a local to somewhere, and it's like I'm 15 years now living
now
here.
You're local.
Yeah, I'm local-ish, right?
Yeah.
But being born and raised here is pretty awesome. So tell me about your health journey, because I think that's the biggest thing that stuck out.
Right. Well, I've always had a weight problem, and I tried everything. I would just keep gaining weight, and finally I decided to write it down in a journal for 2 months, and I took it to my doctor, and I said, explain to me why I'm this overweight. Because at that time I was about 275.
Wow.
On my little frame, so and I said, I want you to explain to me why. And he looked it over. He goes, you're not even getting 1,200 calories a day. I go, no, I'm not. I said, I'm not a big sweet eater. I'm not a big eater in general. I don't understand why it's like this. And so he ran one more test and found out I had a dormant thyroid. So they decided that gastric bypass was going to be the best thing for me. To then go forward, a little bit, about 12 years later, I'm doing okay. And all of a sudden one day I just didn't feel good. And it progressed from there. And I just got really, really sick. And it was very fast. Within a week, I was just, gravely ill. Oh. And, I went to the doctor, and he says, well, your liver has been holding in all your toxins for the past 12 years.
Wow.
Since you got the bypass. So nothing's been going through, nothing's been processing. It's all been just sitting in your liver and your kidneys.
Wow.
So by that time, my liver had been destroyed. It was just on its last leg. And, I had one good kidney, and I had one that wasn't so great. So luckily, I was able to get a transplant, a liver transplant, and but in the transplant, they accidentally nicked the better one of the kidneys, and I lost it. So I had a kidney that was at 6% non-functioning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I had to do dialysis. And I remember going in like the first day of dialysis, going, "God, this is my life now. Like, what happened?" I mean, I didn't understand. Like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Trying to make myself healthy. How did I get to this point? So I started like kind of researching different things that I could do for myself naturally. You know, so I started to just drink like natural stuff, water. I put lemon in there, and I had water, lemon, and cayenne pepper with a little bit of honey. I didn't realize it was flushing my system out really well, and it did. And I was taking walks and doing as much as I could physically, and I rejuvenated my kidney.
Wow.
And they said, they were like, "No, you didn't." I said, "No, there's something different. There's something different in my body that dialysis is too much. There's just too much dialysis." And they're like, "Well, you don't know what you're talking about." And I said, "Of course I do. It's my body.
Yeah.
I know." I said, "I'm very in tune with it. I know when something's going wrong and when something's going right. So just hear me out here." And they're like, "Well," and I said, "if you're not going to listen, I'm not going to come." And they said, "Well, you can't do that." I said, "Of course I can. It's my body. I can do whatever I want to." And so I took off about 3 weeks, and I said, "Well, I should probably go back before I have to."
Yeah.
And I went back, and they had me go to the hospital to get testing done. And when I went in, I told them why I was there. They're like, "You did what?" I said, just run the tests. I don't want to, I don't want to explain it. And so one of the doctors that had been treating me throughout this whole thing, he comes in, he goes, "I'm so proud of you." He goes, "You knew your body." He goes, "You rejuvenated your kidney." He goes, "It's at like 40-50% right now from 6% non-functioning."
Wow.
And that was about,
And that was the good kidney.
that was a bad kidney.
Oh, that was the bad kidney.
Yeah,
Okay.
they nicked the better one.
Oh, they nicked the better. Okay.
And they had to remove it.
Wow.
So I was left with the one that wasn't really any good.
Oh my God.
And so that was about 8 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now, so like, what is the process of dialysis? So explain kind of like what that is.
Dialysis is they're cleaning your blood basically.
Okay.
And you they stick 2 needles in you, and it pumps it. Like one is pulling blood, the other one is cleaning, and then it cleans and it pushes it back in.
Gotcha.
And it's a very, your body feels it afterwards. I mean, your bones feel it. It's a very harsh thing.
So like the idea is to like get the bad blood out, put new good blood in hopes that it's going to.
Yeah. So it keeps your, it flushes out your system basically.
Interesting.
So it stays at a healthier, I guess, so nothing settles in there and it doesn't sit there. It's constantly being cleaned depending on how much you're going.
Yeah.
And I was going 4 times a week for 4 hours a day.
Wow.
So it was a lot.
And from what I know about dialysis is that once people get to that point, there's not coming off of it.
Right.
Yeah. Most people.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously you're an anomaly, which is incredible.
Well, I mean, to put it this way, when I was going through this journey before I got the transplant, I was at home with my boyfriend at the time. And I said, "Oh, I don't feel very good. We were going to go someplace that I don't feel good. I'm going to go to the bathroom because I feel like I'm going to get sick." And he goes, "Okay." And when I went, I started getting sick, but it was like blood clots. And I go, "Oh God," so I said, "Get yourself together, get out there." And I told him what's going on. And he got me to the hospital. And he said it wasn't even 30 seconds after they had wheeled me away that I had died. And they were pumping on me, and he said nothing was bringing you back. So I was in a coma for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
I was in a coma for 2 weeks. And on the day they told my family, they said, "Look, her chances of living are slim to none. And if she does live, she will not be a functioning human being." And so I remember, like, I could hear like certain things. I remember hearing certain things when I was in the coma, but I woke up like really suddenly, and I was looking around the room going, "Okay, I'm in the hospital. I know why I'm in the hospital, but I just don't know what happened." And I'm kind of looking around, and they had to, when you're in a coma, they have you strapped like from here. And I saw my sister sleeping in the corner, and I was like, but I was intubated, so I couldn't, and so
talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going, "Okay, how am I going to do this?" And so the little tables that they put by your bed was close enough, so I just kind of like drug it over to where I could get to it. And I started hitting it. And she woke up and I go like that. And she's like, oh my God. She's like looking around like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
And she walks up and she goes, do you know who you are? And I said, mm-hmm. She goes, do you know who I am? And I shook my head, yes. And she goes, okay, I'll be right back. And she ran and she got the doctors and, they start taking everything out. And they're like, they're looking like, we don't get it. Because by that time, at that point, all my organs had shut down already. And my brainstem had deteriorated by half.
Oh my God.
But I woke up.
Wow. And after 3 weeks of being in a coma?
About 2.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was, there's a purpose for me to be here. And so, at that point I said, I can't give up. I have to keep going. And I have, but I got hurt at work. And so it's been I was going hiking every day last year. And then I got hurt. And so it's kind of like slowed me down a lot. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. It was putting me too much into a depression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was so used to be able to do things. And now I want to rebuild. I want to rebuild strength, and so I'm confident, when I'm out somewhere. I was thinking about it when I'm out somewhere by myself because I'm single, and it's like, what if something happens?
Yeah.
How would I be able? I'm not strong enough now to, get away or anything like that. So I want to be able to have at least strength to just, push my way and hop in the car.
Yeah.
It's always a concern of mine, because you hear so many things going on in the world,
Yeah. This crazy world we're living in now.
And just to, when I was hiking every day, I felt so good. Like I woke up feeling great, and loved being outside and walking around and I don't have that. I haven't had that for a long time. So now is my chance to, regain that.
Yeah. Make your comeback story.
Yeah.
That's an incredible, what a setback. And multiple things like just with your liver and it's incredible. And not only the fact that we live in probably one of the greatest places for hiking, it's like, pick a mountain.
Yes.
There's hiking there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so beautiful. Now, when you mentioned that you got injured at work, what kind of injury was it?
I had a fall and it hurt my back and my knee. So I was struggling with it.
Gotcha.
And so, I've been trying to do little things to build up, but I think I need more. I think I need more guidance with it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's kind of a stagnant area to where like nothing's being done. And the more I wait and just sit around, the weaker, everything else gets. So it's like, now's the time. Take that moment,
So now, with the remedies that you found, right? Like with being able to detox, your liver and do the things like what are some of the big changes that you've made to get you to where you're at today to be able to?
The way I view things, never take anything for granted.
Yeah.
I try to help as many people as I can. I'm just, I appreciate life more. I appreciate the people in it. If I see somebody, that I think that needs help, I'm right there. I want to show other people that, they might have ailments and things might get tough, but it doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah.
It's not, everything that I went through was beyond tough.
Yeah.
And it was like, there was many times I felt very alone, but I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I think there's something more purpose for me to keep going and to keep my head positive.
Now, has your mindset always been like that with like just never giving up or was there like a time where like, okay, I could have died and I didn't, and now I have my purpose, or has it been like that your whole life?
I've always been a giver, and I've always tried to help people. I'm tough, and I tend not to give up, but there's times where I've just been like, I can't do it. I'm done. I just don't want to try it anymore, and I'll give up, and I regret it. Yeah. Because if I would just stuck with it, things might have gone differently. But I was at such a low point in my life that I was like, I can't do it. Yeah. And this is just not that time. Yeah.
So like when it comes down to like what you do for your health, right? Like obviously your eating habits have had to change. so like, what are some of the things that you're doing now to preserve your life in a sense, right? Like are you eating cleaner? Like what's like that realm look like?
I eat like small meals a day. Like
Okay.
because I can't, because of the gastric bypass, I can't
Yeah.
really have like a big meal. I'll be hungry and I'll like take two bites and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Taking me to a buffet is just not right.
Yeah. And
It's a
all the
waste of
good ones
money.
have closed down anyway. So
Yes.
you're fine. Yeah.
Like, but I'll eat small things and I eat more like more greens.
Okay.
That's why I try to eat more greens. I don't eat a lot of meat.
Okay.
If I do, it's like chicken, but I don't really eat a lot of meat.
Mm.
It makes me feel kind of sluggish when I do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Like not only is your journey thus far has been amazing, but like, yeah, your story just stuck out in a very short blurb of what you've gone through, in a field of a lot of pretty damn good stories.
I bet. Yeah.
And it was very hard to be able to pick the one.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But like, I just, both me and my whole staff like had this like gravitation towards your story and like where you have been and then what this place can potentially do for you.
Right.
So I kind of want to like, we'll talk about that and like what the expectations are, because
Right.
I think setting this today, because we're going to do multiple of these interviews, which is going to be fun.
That's great.
So like this being the first time that we met, which is, I think, great. Kind of setting the expectation. And then as we go through this process, we'll just talk about the process. I think because most people overthink it when it doesn't need to be so complicated, but then because they think it is too complicated, they just don't do anything about it. Right. And so yeah, we have a full year to change whatever it is that you want to change. In my head, it's just getting you to optimal health to live an epic life, really. Because like, I don't know if you know, well, you don't know a lot about my business, but epic stands for every person is courageous, right? Oh, okay. And so like the ability for us to like build courage into somebody to do something great for the world, which is what it's about, and for yourself, right? And so the fact that you are already giving back, you already love helping people. I mean, this couldn't have been a better choice, to be honest with you. It actually helps me realize that this was a good choice for you to have it. Right. And so, yeah. So like workout wise, like, let's talk about that. Like what, and then we'll set the expectations.
Okay.
Like what have you done in the past working out?
A lot of walking, like hiking. I haven't really done any like weightlifting or anything like that. I like to strengthen my arms, my legs, just to have like a strengthen my core basically. Yeah. So it's like, it's just been a lot of walking, with some little weights and stuff like that, but that's kind of generally about it.
People underestimate the power of walking. Like in a lot of our coaching that we do, walking is like a low hanging fruit because it's like movement is key, period. It's a lot better than not moving. Right. Right. And like people just like, oh, well, just walking, like all exercise doesn't need to be intense. So one of our requirements is 3 days a week minimum. You have unlimited access. So if like you're feeling great, and you want to come 5, 6, I mean, we're open 7 days a week. So, so minimum of 3 days a week. And then in that time you will be doing strength training. Okay. And then like any injuries or anything like that like you do have, we modify. So our coaches coach. Okay. So like with your knees, I know you mentioned your knees, because safety is priority. Right. And then also allowing you to grow in a way that you like, that you're going to be able to, versus like comparing to like a 20-year-old who's in our class, who's doing an overhead squat, like you might not ever have to do that. So it's like, and so that is a main requirement. Okay. When it comes down to like the coaching side, because nutrition is a big part of it. Right. Exercise is actually the easiest part when it comes down to like, you go somewhere, you follow the instructions, you do what you do, and then you leave. It's what you leave. It's when you leave. And what you do outside of here, which is going to really make or break this, what we do. And then obviously we have some challenges with the gastric bypass, which isn't a problem. I think we just modify things. but learning nutrition
Mhm.
and how to eat properly for your, like, whatever the goals that we
That's
set.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to be honest with you, there's so many programs out there that's about the, like, lose the weight,
Yes.
right? And then, like, once you lost the weight, then what?
Right.
Right. And I think that that's the biggest challenge in the fitness space. It's just like, there's so much noise, but then once you accomplish the goal, it's like, then what's next?
Mhm.
And so over this year, and we'd even talk about like physical goals. I know you mentioned that you want to strengthen your upper body and stuff like that, but like body composition stuff.
Mhm.
But in my eyes, over the year, like, if we can really stay consistent, and develop a great process,
Mm.
like, this is something you're going to be able to do for the rest of your life.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Now, goal wise, like, in your head, like, what would you like to accomplish when it comes down to body composition, like weight loss, muscle gain, like, kind of where?
Muscle gain, like muscle tone.
Okay.
More muscle tone. I never really had that. So
Yeah.
so that's what I'd really like, is the muscle tone and just the strength behind it.
Okay, cool. And I like that because, like, so many people come in like, well, I want to lose X amount of weight, right? 20, 30 pounds. I like building muscle better.
Mhm.
The byproduct of exercise and eating well
Mhm.
is a healthier body.
Right.
Healthier body could equate to weight loss, right?
Right.
And so with all this education that you're going to do, I like to meet with, especially with you, either weekly or biweekly,
Okay.
just to make sure, like, because I want to be able to coach you through this. Like,
Okay.
that's the whole point of this. It's like, so many people don't believe in themselves that they're capable of changing something,
Mhm.
right? Because it's like, they're just used to doing what they're doing,
Mhm.
but then, like, their life is hard because they're not happy.
Right.
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 And so, like, and this is going to be hard. So I want to make sure I support you through this.
Right.
So meeting weekly is going to be important. We're
Mhm.
going to make sure we have a body scanner that does all the body analytics, like weight, body fat,
Okay.
all that stuff. So then that way we could track all progress through this whole thing.
Okay.
And then essentially, like, anything that you need,
Mhm.
we got you.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like super pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because it definitely, giving up is not an option
Yeah.
for me. Not even in my head. And I know it's going to be tough at times, and that's okay. I've been through a lot, and I got through that. So it's
Yeah.
just keep on going. And this is the one thing. This is something that I want for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for somebody else or whatever. I'm doing it just for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so mind blowing that you were, your liver, dialysis, your blood clots. I mean, like, yeah, there's so many things that could have put you out.
Mhm.
And yeah, I definitely have to agree. Like, there's a bigger purpose for you.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
yeah.
I think so.
No, there is, for sure. There's no thinking. There is. Cause I'm like, most people, and I have this theory, like, when people, like, for example, when they get cancer, you have the two types of people. You have the people that are like, cancer will not beat me.
Mhm.
And then you have I'm a victim because I have cancer.
Right.
Right. And who wins every time
Right.
is
Yeah.
let's go for the fight. Right.
Right.
And so and I think that's where you're at, is
Mhm.
like, nothing can take me down
Right.
at this point, which is great. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have any questions for me? Like, I mean, about, like, anything that you're going to experience here?
Where do you think we're going to start first? Besides doing the body mass and all that stuff, what are we going to target first, do you think?
So I want you to essentially start moving. So I want to get you into our community.
Okay.
I'm going to do a big blast of introducing you. So you might get a little overwhelmed with a bunch of people, like, coming up to you and talking to you, because
Okay.
everybody here is super pumped.
Okay.
They're like, what happened to the winter? And, with, like, Thanksgiving happening.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
so we're going to do a big blast on that. I really want you to just get into a really good environment.
Okay.
There's something about this place, and I wish I could even take credit for it, but I can't, because the type of people that we have here,
Mhm.
it's infectious. Like everybody has their own shit of what they're going on in their life.
Right.
But when they're here, we have one purpose, and that's to become better than we were yesterday.
Right.
And so it's like, when you are around those types of people, it's like you're going to become unstoppable.
Right.
And so getting you into a like working out habit,
Mhm.
the way that I work is I'm a long game guy. I'm not about like just giving you a bunch of information to start
Right.
and then like not knowing what to do with all that information.
Right.
So like step 1 is going to get you in and working out. Step 2, well, we'll do like a pre-scan and all that stuff just to make sure we get some numbers. We'll probably have you in here for 2 or 3 weeks before we even start like the nutrition stuff, just to make sure like, you know, how your body's reacting to the workouts, you know, your consistency, right? Because if you can, you know, 3 days a week, I think will be good to start. And then if you end up doing more, great. And then we just kind of build that process of then exercise and then the nutrition, because the nutrition just does take the longest because it's like educating you on what your body actually needs to be successful. Because in the end, like, you know, you were eating very little at the time of you being at your biggest and your body was still not cooperating. And so it's not always eating less, it's eating right. Right. And so understanding like, you know, how much protein your body needs, how many carbs you needs, how much fat your body needs.
And that's, I'm looking forward to that because it's like nothing, I've never learned that process of taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So to have that instruction is going to be just, you know, it's really going to boost me a lot, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking forward to that, learning how to do that.
Yeah. And we have a really, really, really good team of people between like my administration staff and then my training staff that we're all on our own journeys too.
Right.
Like everybody here, most of my staff most of them have been members here before working here.
Yeah.
And they work here because they love it so much. And then it's kind of like, there's like a leadership role that you end up wanting to play when your life is changed. Right.
Right.
Cause it's kind of like, you know, I did this. Now I want to, like in your head, like, you know, like kind of where your head is at is now I want to be able to do that for others.
Right.
And so that's most of my staff have been members here. And so you have a really great team of people that will support this 100%. And yeah. And so that's basically what you're going to be going through and a full year of, and it's perfect time to start. And we're not going to wait till January. I say like, if you can start, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe, I say, let's start tomorrow. If you can, we'll talk about this off the podcast.
Okay.
You know, and just get you in here as soon as possible.
Right.
And then, yeah, just
go from there.
Yep. Awesome. Well, this has been super fun.
Yeah.
I'm really, thank you for joining me on this podcast. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable and I mean, there's not like I have a huge production of people. It's just you and I and a camera. Share your story. I think is going to be really good. That is the one thing I want you to do is like be open about it and talk about this process. Because I think that will inspire other people.
Right.
And you mentioned you have 2 kids.
Yes.
How old are they?
27 and 25.
So even though that they are adults, they still need a good mom to lead them, right? In a way of what it looks like to overcome all obstacles. Any grandchildren?
No.
Okay. So, you know, and I think that that's going to be setting you up for an amazing future.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be here for the long haul. You know, I mean, I fought for my life, you know, to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
You know, my stepdad had asked me, he said, at one time, he said, you know, I don't know how you got through everything you've been through. He goes, I couldn't even imagine. And I said, you know what? I wouldn't change it. He goes, I said, not that I would want to, you know, wish that upon anybody or have that happen. I said, but it made me realize that there's more to life. It made me stronger than I thought it, because that's the only choice I had was to be strong. Yeah. I didn't have the choice to be, you know, have a weak day or I just didn't. I said it just made me appreciate life more. Yeah. So it's okay that happened, you know?
Yeah. We say this quote a lot. It's like, we all have 1,000 problems in our life until it becomes our health. And then we have one problem in our life. Yes. Right. And you've already have overcome that, which I think is amazing. And so it puts it into perspective. You know, I always have the saying, it's like, you've survived 100% of your worst days and you're doing great. Right. Right. So, and it can only go up from there.
Yeah. So all up from here.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Diane, for joining me. This has been incredible. She's going to be on future episodes, which is going to be super cool. And we'll do this together. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next one. That's it for today's episode of Becoming Epic. If something stirred in you today, don't let it fade. Take one step, one rep, one bold move. You're not here to play small. You're here to rise, rebuild, and become who you were born to be. Remember, average is easy, epic is earned, and the only way out is through. I believe in you, but it's time you believe in you. Subscribe, share, join the movement, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, go be epic.